feel like as an organization, we're always focused on how can we build the most sustainable, best service offering to our clients. They come to us, we're able to offer world best pricing, superior service, and we're solutions oriented. We work with our clients to help them, solve their biggest pain point.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
So Zach, thank you for joining us today on Business Ninjas. We're excited to have you on the show. Maybe we can start by just having you describe your role inside of the company name, where you're located, and obviously the website for the company.
Yeah, awesome. So currently sitting in Toronto, Canada. The company definitely has operations, globally at this point. We have employees in a number of different countries and major hubs from New Jersey to London, all the way to Hong Kong, et cetera. So, COVID really moved us to decentralized workforce. The business, secure digital markets, we're a digital asset focused spot brokerage, and I'm happy to go into more of that later. But we've been operating since 2017. And my role within the company is really, as a co-founder, my direct title was Chief Operating Officer for the first couple of years. Recently, I've moved into a CSO role, really focused on strategy and revenue growth, within the firm. But considering the, co-founder status and, the longevity, having been around for 5-6 years now, I've really worn every hat under the sun. So it's kind of, part and parcel of being an entrepreneur and in a rapidly shifting environment.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Rapidly shifting for sure. Right. So that means you've been through 2 crypto winners now, at least.
Definitely. So no stranger to it. I think that we've managed to actually make some of the most progress and growth as an organization in these sort of times. It removes some of the outward facing distractions and really lets us build. So I look at it, not as kind of a bull or bear market. I look at us as wolves. We're opportunistic. We're able to seek opportunity. The metrics of the firm over the past few months have been some of our best ever. We've had some record-breaking months across, most of our main metrics, from revenue to clients, et cetera. So, fortunately, maybe even selfishly, the institutional collapse that we saw as a digital asset industry shook things up a lot and caused a lot of displacement. And a lot of our focus as a firm on risk management and how we've kind of built our business to be sustainable and segregated different silos or Chinese walls has really allowed us to stand the test of time. As you said, it's not our first rodeo, and fortunately we've been able to kind of take in a lot of new clients that were lost from some of the competitors that went bankrupt, that had fraud issues, et cetera, that were part of the contagion. So, happy times all around as a firm. We're working here really quickly to get things, continue to scale.
It seems like that's a common theme with the companies that we talk to on this channel that have a very focused growth mindset, that when other people might be battening down, the folks that are thinking 18 months down the road and have maybe already weathered a few storms definitely see it as an opportunity. So that's great to hear. That's awesome. Maybe you could tell us a bit about the arc of your career and kind of how you got to the present opportunity.
Sure. Prior to my foray into the digital asset space, I had a wide range of experience. I've always been fairly entrepreneurial. Started my first company at 16 years old doing social media marketing. Started my first mobile application at 17. Ended up working with a venture-backed startup out of San Francisco that I left school to work with, et cetera. And around that time that company was acquired, that I left school for, I had some time on my hands. I was trying to really position myself for my next, major career move, so to speak. I had lots of opportunity on the table, lots of early career success, defined by a lot of terms as a 22-year-old. And I'd heard about digital assets, just floating around in kind of the tech space, and in San Francisco. So spent some time really I had time on my hands to kind of explore the concept of Bitcoin, the technology of blockchain. And I would say I kind of dove down the proverbial rabbit hole very quickly. It piqued my intellectual curiosity. I had, a partial background in economics, and growth thinking just from my previous roles and time at school. So just really made sense. And I would say that from a very early stage, I took to having a lot of conviction that this was a transformative technology. I've had a knack at being right when I see a trend as an early adopter. And this was, fairly early on. This was about 2015. My first official decision was, I believe skin in the game is a difference maker. So because I was interested, I started to trade. I actually got fairly heavily involved in arbitrage trading, which is a bit of a genesis story. I saw a lot of opportunity between different platforms to make some money. I started kind of a friends and family fund of capital that scaled very rapidly with a couple 1,000% returns. And that's actually how I met my current business partner, David Shafrir, who's the CEO of the firm and really my partner in all of our initiatives. We were at the time looking at kind of turning my structure into a more formal hedge fund, considering that this was, pre-2016 crypto. There was a lot of uncertainty in the regulatory environment, a lot of different tax authorities, lawyers, regulatory experts couldn't really give me a formal opinion on the best structure and how this was looked at, especially in Canada, which is, a very difficult jurisdiction. So the decision collectively was kind of that we didn't want to, cross any red tape that would get us in trouble. We decided to take a pause in the fund structure, and actually liquidate the fund that I'd created with the Friends and Family Fund. In that process, I would say opportunistically, I got exposed to the digital asset secondary market. So realizing that, there wasn't a lot of liquidity and it was a difficult task. There wasn't strong banking rails. There wasn't many trusted counterparties. I put myself into the shoes of, everyone else who was looking to transact. And I think it's important to note that any capital market or any asset class, liquidity is kind of the lifeblood of the industry. And if you can't transact, then, how can you expect an industry to grow? So I had a pretty linear thought process, which was if I can focus on the liquidity and the on and off ramps, capital will flow if there's liquidity. Capital leads to talent leads to development leads to innovation, and innovation leads to adoption. So I started at the front and really decided to build that highway, so to speak, which was the genesis of Secure Digital Markets as a digital asset focused brokerage. I'll fast forward a little bit. We first started just through deal matching, finding a buyer and a seller, but quickly built up our own full service capabilities, electronic trading platform, liquidity streams, to really serve as a two-sided liquidity provider, and brokerage to start spot trading, but have since scaled into a full service of institutional financial services. So offering our clients spot lending, recently branching out into derivative staking, and soon to be custody as well, with our new licensing coming in Q1.
Oh wow, that's exciting. Geez, how big were the regulatory hurdles to get to that? I'm guessing
You know what? Sometimes I wish I just started an e-commerce company or something, because the legal and regulatory challenges working kind of a buy and sell side firm with limited infrastructure in an emerging market has been has definitely taken some years out of my life, but or added some years on. But it's all part of the challenge and the journey. I think that we're fortunate to be still around, have overcome a lot of the challenges. We're regulated in several different jurisdictions, really soon to be all across North America, Europe, and even more so globally, with a lot of coverage. So yeah, it's par for the course, and it's been part of the story.
That's wild. And how do you, now that the landscape's kind of shifting, but I'm sure you've managed to differentiate yourselves anyway, like what would you say sets you apart from the others that are in the space right now?
Great question. I think that we've really focused as a firm on having a premier service offering that kind of translates into kind of like controlled explosive growth, I would say. A lot of our peers really focused on how to achieve the most scale as quickly as possible. Flashy marketing, big pushes. I feel like as an organization, we're always focused on how can we build the most sustainable, best service offering to our clients. And as a firm, until for the first 4 years of operations, we never had to focus at all on marketing, really until 2021, because our clients really generated, or our client book grew based on word of mouth. We had satisfied clients, we had flagship clients, some of the most sophisticated firms from every vertical, from exchanges to miners to ETFs to publicly traded corporate treasuries to institutions, banks, etc., where they come to us. We're able to offer world best pricing, superior service, and we're solutions oriented. We work with our clients to help them solve their biggest pain point, whether that's settlement, whether that's a pricing issue, whether that's a need for better back office support. We'll work with them to offer that.
That's wild.
Kind of more mimicable to a private wealth experience where clients can come to us and we'll really help be their go-to partner in the digital asset space.
That's awesome. And so the clients that you have coming in now, the new ones, it sounds like, given what you're providing, you must have a pretty strong word of mouth river of people coming into you. Is that by and large how people find you today?
It was historically. I think at one time there was a metric where each client, on average was introducing us to 2 or 3 counterparties.
Wow.
When we did kind of the review, it was really founder-led sales. So it was relationship driven. Myself and my partner Dave and our first employee Mustafa, who really led the charge for most of the time. We now do have a very small dedicated sales team, and we're making a larger push in our marketing and sales efforts. But we were scaling at a pace that was, really as we refused to sacrifice service for scale. And at times there was regrets where I'd look at some companies that had started around the same time as us that were, bigger. Some of those names are no longer around. And that just goes to show that, we always wanted to build that regulated, safe, secure. It's in the name, really, secure digital markets,
Right.
that legacy institution that could support our clients. And I believed in having that as a driving factor in how quickly we scale. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks a bunch for coming on the show today. What are the major social media channels where people can come find you?
So our Twitter, SD_markets, and LinkedIn are our 2 most active. We also do have Instagram and the other peripheral ones, but that's probably the best ones for clients that want to access some of our proprietary content, that we're focused on as a big part of our marketing strategy. So we're publishing, even through Telegram as well, through a dedicated research channel to our clients, daily market commentary. We post snippets of that onto, LinkedIn and Twitter. And that really gives people a glimpse into, what our team is thinking. I think we have some of the world's best analysts, traders, and, digital asset natives who have been around for quite some time, putting out top quality and top tier research. So yeah, I encourage anyone listening to take a look, and also just happy to connect as a firm and help you guys understand and look at considerations around digital assets, diversification, trading, etc.
Great. Well, thanks for spending the time with us, Zach. We appreciate it, and we're gonna, really enjoy watching what you're up to in 2023. So thanks again.
Stay tuned. It's quite a lot coming. We've been building to this moment for a while, and I think it'll be the best year yet. So very excited, and thank you, Jamie, for having me.